Hello lovelies, and welcome to this week's midweek wrap up. My name's Alya and I'm so glad you stopped by. So last week we talked about matching a bold bright green t-shirt, and this week I want to talk to you a little bit about how to wear a solid plain black Tichel, because it's not for everyone. It's a little bit of a harder thing to wear because it is just so stark, and I think nailed just about how to pull it off. And so I just want to show you a few little tricks with this black Tichel, and I hope that you stick around to see what I do with just a plain black day. Just to get started, I just want to explain that I am not really into blacks that much, not around my face anyway. I have been known to wear an all black outfit, but even then I will probably throw on a bright scarf or have a particularly ridiculous color lipstick or something to really brighten it up and contrast it, or maybe some bright earrings, something like that. So I do like to brighten it up if I am, for whatever reason, wearing all black. But when it comes to Tichels, I just don't gravitate to it necessarily naturally. Maybe I would more so if it was just a headband, but with it being a complete look, this is what I do. Okay, so I actually don't have any shapewear on whatsoever, but I'll just show you how I put this Tichel together. It's, as you might notice, it's super tall and super sort of narrow, so it's got this elongated shape. And the idea behind it is that if you're not making a statement with your pattern or your color, then you may as well make a statement with your texturing, layering, and so forth. So all I've done, if I can find the edge, so I've got this really flat, wide wrapping method. That's one side, and then I've obviously got hair underneath, so I'll just show you what I've done. So basically I've crisscrossed it over and wrapped this up as high as it will go around my bun. So just layering it up. It's pretty uneven and there's just hair right there, so it's literally just coming around here. I'll show you that. Just lose my finger in the process. There it is, coming around and around and around, nice and tall. And I've spoken about this in my how to create volume video as well, but all I'm doing is I'm taking a really wide piece of the scarf and coming around as wide as I can with it, and it creates this dome or kind of turban heighted thing, and then I can just tuck it into wherever it will be able to go. It doesn't really matter, just any gap will do as long as it will stay. There we go. And then just neaten it around the front, because again, texture. So for me, even though my hair's dark and it's black Tichel, this V here is really super important. And then also I don't really want any weird lumps and bumps. So at the moment I've got this slightly strange situation happening down the front. I'm just going to get under there and flatten it out. So that's kind of what I was doing most of this afternoon. But you can absolutely accessorize, and that is one really easy way to not have to overthink what you're matching. So my outfit was pretty loud anyway, and I didn't have anything the exact shade of beige that I wanted. So this is what I went for. The other thing I'd considered doing, but then opted out of because it was 29 degrees today here in Melbourne, but you could absolutely just repeat the shape once again. Sorry, just putting it nice and flat against the base of your head there. Doesn't want to go flat on my ears. This is so silky, and this is, yep, like that. There we go. And then just find that same crisscross that you have in the black. You have this nice little additional color. It's just one way to break it up a little bit, and it does kind of work, even though it's the completely wrong shade of cream. All I'm doing is using it as an accessory on my black scarf. So that would be the other way to get around the old black thing, but I just love the idea that black in of itself can be a real cool statement as well. The other thing I've been known to do is just take some dress pins that kind of look like this, so they have little cute heads there, and just kind of accessorize with them as well. Just maybe creating like a little pattern here or something like that, just a little point of color. You can even take a little headband, like a little lace headband, and place it through the front first, maybe a strip of fabric that matches what you're wearing, any kind of thing to break up the black. But if you've opted to go for all black, definitely creating this interesting dome or interesting design with the Tichel is one way to go about it. Another example is I've got this fairly evenly put down, and I must mention that this is a jersey material, which is so perfect for a day that's stinking hot like today. Even though it's black, it just works so nicely because it breathes. And once again, we're taking that wide panel concept. I'm just going to gather it at the end and up with the other side, wide paneling, Okay, and I'm just going to do it a twist. Okay, I'm going to keep twisting it around but keeping it flat at the same time, and when I'm almost out of fabric, I'm going to tuck it away. Twist it around and tuck it away. Okay, just make sure that everything's sitting nice and comfortably and where I want it to. So this is another little option for just a plain black. And this is one of those scarves that you may find yourself wearing if you're in the corporate world, for example, and you don't want to be, you know, going too crazy with a statement. You know, you're wearing a, say, 3-piece suit or something, you know, or you're wearing like a beautiful pinned skirt and a white shirt or something like that. You don't really want to be throwing anything too crazy into the turban. Totally understand that if that's your aesthetic. I get it. I so get it. And that's why something like this is really, really pretty. You have these feminine vibes with this kind of twist flower effect. Show you up close what that's like in the light properly. And you don't have too much of a kind of volume or too much craziness happening at the back there. So it's almost like a little hat type situation, but it's so interesting and it's so feminine, and it is definitely something that adds to your general look. And I haven't put these earrings on by accident. I tend to wear something like this when I wear a bright pattern or a very busy pattern, because it still kind of works with what I'm doing. It's the same kind of vibes as a loud print, but it's a plain silver hoop, so it doesn't offend anything. It kind of just goes with everything. But how lovely is it just to have one element which doesn't offend, doesn't stand out, doesn't create its own whole agenda like some of those bigger volumes do. And they're really cute too, but if you wanted to go for something different, but you don't want to lose that feminine vibe, because you do always have the option, of course, to just go for, thank you Editing Magic, go for something quite simple and flat. Stay there. Stay there. You know, and really just make it as simple as possible and have a nice flat turban. And even keeping it nice and simple in the way you tuck it away, I'm just tucking it underneath rather than on top. That way it's even more flat in its profile. Really, really straightforward, just wrapping it around, and that's it. And I've made sure, even with this very, very simple design, to have some sort of creases and folds through the scarf, the front. I'm keeping it extremely, extremely simple. This is something I might wear if I've got a very sheer scarf. I might keep this one as like a base scarf. That's probably the only time you'd ever see me wear this. But if you had to keep things really, really simple for whatever reason in your life and wherever you're going, this is definitely still an option. And the way to really cutie it up, to make it just a little bit more feminine, a little bit more exciting, is just to take little pinches of fabric and just shuffle them around until you get these kind of layers happening. The other really cute trick, and this is something that works for all of these tickles, it's working for all these tickles, is I've actually not got a bun underneath. What I've actually done is tied a very high ponytail with a scrunchie, just your run-of-the-mill velvet scrunchie. You can usually get them at $2 shops or, you know, just pharmacy type places, and then flipped my hair under. So I haven't actually, so I pulled my hair through once, twice, and then the last time I've left half my hair under, so it's kind of like a little half tail like that. And what that creates is like a wider sort of profile through the bun, so you don't have this like plonk at the top of a bun, you have more of a wide bun. So that really works for if you have really short hair, or if you have very long hair, that will work as well. I'm going to start by bringing this last look up through the back of the head, a little bit uneven. So my trick has always been create like a little hammock. So it's almost like you're holding up your head. You're not making it tight, you're not squashing your ears, but you are just supporting the base of your head and then crossing over. Okay, now usually I will always get this little thing of fabric at the front. Do not worry about it yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and widen it. Where's my edge? There we go. Black is just a bit tricky to work with because it's harder to see what you're doing, but that's okay. It's got really bright lights on too, and it still isn't really helping too much. So crossing it over at the back, and then you're going to have one shorter piece because we did the uneven start. I'm just going to bring it up and hide it in the front, just like that, and I just want to spread it out a little. Okay, so I've got this first step here. This is a good time to just get rid of this and bring back that really cute triangle. I'm going to leave mine a little bit asymmetrical because I just love that. Now if you really wanted to, you could just feed this through and leave it hanging or do something cute with it, but I'm going to actually make it really wide and bring it up over the top even higher, just like that, and just cover up these loose bits at the top and then tuck it back into itself. Just another really cute option, probably similar enough to the very first version, but what this does is it just creates this more conical, more pointy kind of shape, a bit more like a beehive kind of shape, and you get these really beautiful textures. There we go. These really beautiful textures through the scarf. Again, not so easy to see, and you can always neaten it up or mess it up as much as you like, but you get this sort of braid situation happening. How pretty is that? It's almost like, you know, you've braided your hair like that French braid style. I'm trying to get my head into the light so you guys can see what it's like. You know what? Let's get the light to me. So you've got these beautiful kind of layers, and it's almost like you've used 4 or 5 different scarves, but all it is just this beautiful layering that you've been able to create. The other thing you can do in these scenarios, because you've got such a classic, you know, people will associate it to that sort of retro kind of hairstyle, you can introduce a little bit of something really pretty like jewelry. So I've got this bracelet here. Oops. Okay, one more time. I've got this bracelet here. I'm going to make sure it's secure this time and just tuck it away. There, I might need just a little pin just to make sure that I haven't risked losing it, because I would not want to do that. So it's actually really cute because it just matches everything, but it's going to hide anyway. There we go, hiding it that way, and then tucking it away. Tucked it in under there, and I'm actually loving it. Just sort of fell in a rounder shape, and that's because it's a bracelet, so it's naturally something that curls around. And I just love how it's adding another layer of interest, another sort of piece of texture and movement, celebrating the movement of that fabric by laying it that way. But you can absolutely taut it and, you know, hide it a bit deeper away so that it goes into more of a flat line. Absolutely. So just doing it that way instead. But I just love it. So this is another really pretty way to wear it, especially if you have to go somewhere that's a little bit more dressed up and for whatever reason you are choosing to wear black. This is definitely one way. And the other thing is we are using a cotton at the end of the day. It's like a jersey type fabric, so the fact that I can really dress it up and it's such as t-shirt material is just saying something. The other thing that I mentioned at the very beginning is to wear a scarf underneath that suits what you're wearing. So it's way too much leopard for me to do both of them, and they're not the exact same leopard either, but just a small piece could totally work. And then just have this black one over the top, in probably keeping it more simple of a style, considering we've already got this sort of feature through the leopard scarf. You can definitely mix it up. I would not be wearing this on a day like today anyway. It is way too stinking hot, but it's a cute look. That's one definitely statement look, and it's a lot because there's 2 scarves, and the leopard print one is short and thick. Just a very densely woven cotton there. But see how it works really well, considering that the black is breaking it up. And I just kept it really simple. It's such a simple, quick tickle. Didn't put too much effort or thought or neatness into it, but it just works. And it's actually quite pretty, more pretty than I thought it would be. And you can definitely play around with it and, you know, do more interesting things with it. But the point to show you was that, you know, this and this together, it's way too much, doesn't really suit. But as just a point to break it up, it works really well, especially that I've got the plain light fabric breaking it up also down the bottom. Could also just wear a black cardigan or something like that instead, and that would work as well. Similarly, if this was for a corporate situation and I was wearing a suit, I could easily have, say, a leopard print something else in the mix, like say a belt, leopard print belt or leopard print pumps to go with my otherwise plain outfit, and that would be also really cute. Okay, my lovelies, I'm going to wrap it up there, and let me know below what you think about this idea of all black, and would you break it up? Would you mix it up like this one, or do you go for more of a monotone, and why? I'd be really interested to hear what makes you choose that option. For more looks and more stuff and more life, please do head over to Instagram and check out everything that's been happening over there. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe. It's so simple. Just hit that big red word and it switches to grey to let you know that you are a part of the creative family here, growing slowly but so steadily, and I love it. Hit like as well if you did indeed like this video, and I hope that wherever you are around the world, you're having an amazing day, you're staying safe and healthy and happy and wonderful, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye!